So the search for the missing Malaysian flight continues. A further 122 objects potentially from the missing Malaysian plane have been identified by satellite, the country's acting transport minister has said. The images taken on 23rd of March showed objects up to 23 metres, that's 75 foot in length. Hishamuddin Hussein said, all aircraft taking part in Wednesday's search have now left the area without identifying debris from the plane. Now this raises eyebrows again, guys. I mean, this has just gone on far too long with the flight recorder and not being found, and the transponders, everything not being found. Now the flight MH370 from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing disappeared on the 8th of March with 239 people on board, none of which have been found. The objects were found in the satellite images from a 400 square kilometre area around 257 kilometres, 1588 miles from Perth in Western Australia. Mr. Hishamuddin said that it was not possible to tell whether the potential objects were from the missing aircraft, but he called them another new lead that will help direct the search operation. Okay, so how many more leads are they going to have, and how many more smoke bombs are they going to drop on things? Now the images were supplied by French-based Airbus Defence and Space, and were given the Malaysian Remote Sensing Agency on the 25th of March, Mr. Hishamuddin said. Now the images were passed on to the Australian Rescue and Coordination Centre in Perth on Tuesday, he added. Now the latest images are the fourth known collection of satellite pictures showing possible debris regions or debris areas in the southern Indian Ocean. Now, as I said, how many more of these debris sites are they going to find and keep pumping out into the media? Now, no pieces have yet been recovered in the search of the area or any other of the areas, which has now been split into two, and that's the east and the west section. So, guys, to continue to look for this plane, it's not going to happen. They're just pumping this out on the media to appease people, and of course our thoughts go to the families as well. I'm sure you've seen the shocking news yesterday with the families just being told deal with it. Basically that's the end of it, so just deal with it. Now some news on North Korea. North Korea has test fired 2 medium-range ballistic missiles just hours after the US, South Korea and Japan met in the Netherlands for peace talks, or for talks, you know, not to be firing these sort of mid-range missiles. I mean, it's a no-go as far as they're concerned. Now, it's the first launch of a Nodong missile since 2009 and marks a step up from the short-range rockets Pyongyang has fired in the recent weeks. Now, the launch also comes on the 4th anniversary of the sinking of a South Korean warship. So, again, dates and times there again, guys. Now, Washington and Seoul have condemned the launch, which violates UN resolutions. Now, the US State Department described the launch as a troubling and provocative escalation. He also went on to say, we urge North Korea to exercise restraint and refrain from further threatening actions. Deputy spokesman Maria Harf said in a statement, a grave provocation. The South Korean Defence Ministry said the missiles were fired from the Sukdong region north of Pyongyang and flew for about 650 kilometres before falling into the sea off the east coast of Korean Peninsula. Now, this missile is capable of hitting not only most of Japan but also Russia and China, ministry spokesman Kim Ming-sok said. Now, the ministry described it as a grave provocation. Now, it leaves nothing to the imagination to say that it is nothing but a grave provocation, guys. Now, in recent weeks, North Korea has launched multiple short-range missiles, actions which have been in coincidence with the annual US-South Korea military exercise. Again, guys, this is dangerous stuff. I mean, the sanctions that are put in place for all countries. It's not just to say that North Korea can say, well, listen, we're not going to listen to these sanctions that you've imposed. We're just going to crack off a couple of rockets anyway. So this is one to watch, guys. This is really, really dangerous stuff again.